Thank you very much, and good morning. My name is Robert Clay, and I'm the Interim U.S. Special Advisor for Orphans and Vulnerable Children. This is a position that was mandated in Public Law 10995, and actually a credential for this was to be able to say that all correctly. The Assistance for Orphans and Vulnerable Children Act of 2005. The Act was signed into law 6 years ago to ensure that the U.S. government assistance to highly vulnerable populations was in developing countries was comprehensive, was coordinated, and effective. As I look around the room today, it's so rewarding to see so many colleagues and such an array of advocates for children. In fact, today we have 150 of us gathered here from NGOs, from implementing partners, from academic institutions, from the private sector, and from a variety of public government organizations. We're also joined by practitioners from around the world that are working in this field by a live webinar. So welcome to all of you. It looks like we're going to have a very productive 2 days here. In fact, a colleague of mine remarked that with all this good work and so many people working on children, that Santa Claus might be concerned about being upstaged this year. As you see in your program guide, The Lancet, the world's leading medical journal, has published a commentary to coincide with this summit. And with us today are many of the U.S. government senior leaders who have co-signed the commentary and have committed to establishing guiding principles for U.S. government assistance to affected children outside of the U.S. and to develop a strategy to promote evidence-based responses to protecting these vulnerable children by July 2012. I'm very grateful to the co-signers of this document. They are Ambassador Sidi Baka, Kevin de Kock, Ambassador Goosby, Alan Guttmacher, Ambassador Jacobs, Ariel Pablo Mendez, Sandra Pulaski, George Shelton, and Ambassador Steindorf. These individuals all showed their vision and bold commitment on behalf of saving children in the world. It's important to state up front that this summit has been planned and conducted by an interagency group consisting of 35 technical experts and program managers representing 18 offices within 5 U.S. government agencies and departments. Let me just mention 2 aspects of this meeting to illustrate that. First, the funding for the summit has been provided by the USAID's Bureau for Policy, Planning and Learning, the Bureau for Global Health, Displaced Children and Orphans Fund, or DCOF, the Office of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives, as well as funding received from the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, or PEPFAR, the National Institutes for Health, the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute for Child Health and Human Development, and the Fogarty International Center. A second aspect is the technical support, which has been provided by all of those organizations, as well as the Department of Health and Human Services, Administration for Child and Family, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Institutes for Mental Health, Department of Labor's Bureau for International Labor Affairs, and the State Department's Office of Children's Issues, and the Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons. Clearly, this Evidence Summit is a whole-of-government approach. The process leading up to the summit began last spring. It has included a pre-summit held in October at the National Institutes for Health that engaged 60 academic, technical experts, and U.S. government program managers in a process to consider the strengths of evidence relevant to children outside of family care, including those living on the street or in institutions, trafficked, participating in armed groups, or exploited for their labor. 4 teams were established at the pre-summit and have since worked together to review both peer-reviewed and great literature through the lens of these 4 focus questions. These teams will present their preliminary findings today. All team members, and there have been 60 of them, have taken on this project on top of the other duties and responsibilities. This is an ambitious extracurricular activity, you could say, and reflects the commitment of colleagues in this room. A very sincere thank you for all of you for your hard work in making this meeting possible. Finally, this summit is a consultative process. We are here to listen, to learn, to think, and to strategize together. So let's begin.